Oh, alright guys. I played Red Dead Redemption 1 for the first time. First time I've ever played it. And I was honestly so disappointed by it. I couldn't believe how boring it was. I mean, and this is not rage bait, okay? I love Rockstar games. Alright? Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of, if not my favorite game of all time. It's not my favorite. It's one of my favorites though, okay? Definitely like top 5, top 6. Best experience I had with the game though, in like a single one playthrough, because like all my friends had it. It was a big deal in high school. It was just a great time all around. It's very memorable to me, but it's still not my favorite game of all time. But it's very memorable, one of my favorites of all time. GTA 5, absolute classic. I couldn't wait to get a PlayStation so I could play with my friends. I had it already on Xbox, but most of my friends had a PlayStation, so then I finally just switched over and playing with all of them. It was so fun. And just the actual story, like the heists were fun in GTA, and I absolutely love GTA 5. Didn't play GTA 4, didn't play San Andreas. I did play GTA 3 and Vice City though. I know, it's weird that I went back and played those ones. It's because as a kid, my dad had those ones, so I snuck around and played them when I could. So, because I wasn't allowed to play GTA. Oh my god, what a voice crack. But playing Red Dead Redemption 1, it actually had me real worried for GTA 6, okay, for a couple reasons. Firstly is because of Dan Houser, the lead writer from GTA and Red Dead, is gone. He is not going to be here for GTA 6, okay? He cited being exhausted and just being tired and wanting something new. It could be that, or it could be producers at Take-Two, you know, wanting to go their way a little bit and have a worse story, okay? To pull a little Saints Row reboot, okay? That's another thing. It's been so long since the last Grand Theft Auto, okay? Are they going to be able to capture that parody of pop culture the way they could with GTA 5? And now they haven't been afraid to be controversial in past GTAs, okay? Don't get me wrong. They've never been afraid to be controversial. But Dan Houser's gone. It's 2026. A lot of people try not to be as controversial as they used to. Look at what happened to Saints Row. They weren't the same Saints Row, not even close. Even the new school Saints Row hated that Saints Row. That's how bad the new, and it wasn't just the game. I'm talking about the story and stuff, but the gameplay was also dog shit for Saints Row. But still, when I see that, and it's like the lead writer leads, and then partially because of the expectations that have been set upon GTA 6 to be this absolutely incredible video game, okay? I mean, it's like damn near for a lot of people a lock to be game of the year. They'd be shocked if it doesn't win it. And then also, just Red Dead reminded me just how boring, maybe it was because I was younger and I had even more free time on my hands, but right now, like when I want to play a game, I want to be able to get in and start actually playing, doing something action-y, doing something fun, doing something stimulating. I don't want to be walking around doing nothing, playing a fucking slow-ass 30-hour movie. And it felt like that's what I did for Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 1, it's like, I don't know, a 20 to 30-hour game, maybe longer. I think everything before Mexico could just be cut. Literally everything before Mexico could be cut. All of it was just a waste of time. I was so close to quitting on it, but I was like, you know what? No, it's a Rockstar game. I like other Rockstar games. Maybe it gets good. I'm gonna keep playing. It at least got better. Stuff started happening once we got to Mexico.
Do it now!
But all this stuff in Lost, oh my god. It's just everything. You're doing countless favors for the fucking sheriff and for fucking Bonnie McFarlane. Bonnie McFarlane, fuck her ranch. I don't know why those fucking criminals wanted to burn her shit down and hate her family so much, but I'm with them, bro. What a waste of fucking time. The fucking goat herding, the real cowboying, I get it. You're role-playing as a cowboy. You should do something kind of cowboy-y. But here's my issue with it, okay? Not only does it remind me of Lon Lon Ranch and Twilight Princess and having to herd those goddamn goats, but also at the end of the game, they make you do this shit again. They make you do it again with Abby and Jack Marston. Oh my god. shit. It's like, you know what they should have done? Okay, if they wanted this like tutorial cowboying section, okay, maybe they should have put the boring shit with the family in the beginning, okay? So you get to know the family and everything, and you know what John's fighting for. Then you have the Pinkertons show up because they talk about how they just showed up, kidnapped the family, kidnapped the wife, and then got John and was like, "Hey, you're gonna do this for us." Maybe they should have done that. Done the intro, so you do your boring shit as a cowboy, then you go and you fucking get kidnapped and you thrown into this shit, okay? Then you play the game, you cut out all that boring shit, you know, you go after Bill Williamson, you go with him with an army of Pinkertons, they fucking mow your asses down, and Williams escapes somehow, and then he goes off to Mexico, and then you go to Mexico, and you skip all of the beginning boring shit. Because it's so many times too, John throughout is like, "What other favors do I need to do for you to help me?"
Escuela!
I'm not sure exactly where. They are definitely in Mexico.
That much I know already. You told me you'd found them.
Carajo, cuidado, John. And I will. I have my very best men working on it.
If I find out you're lying to me, Reyes, you'll really see the man I used to be.
I will give you your friends, I promise. Just give me time.
Oh, mi caballo!
Like the fucking traveling salesman, bro. Oh my god, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. Then we get to Mexico. Some fun shit starts going on. The random gunslinger guy who's there, I don't know what the fuck he's doing there. I mean, all he does is like shit on John's skills as if he's not a shooter. But it's like, he's clearly a pro. I mean, he can do all this stuff already. And he can do it in RDR2, which is all the way back in the 1800s. But of course, you know, the sequel wasn't in mind when making this. And that's also very evident because the boys talk like John was like, almost like a favorite at times. Like Bill mentions John being like a favorite. But then John seems slighted by Dutch kind of like leaving him. And it's like, I don't know, it feels like John was kind of higher up in the ranks than he is in RDR1. It almost feels like John would have had Arthur's role in the way they talk in RDR1. But he doesn't. He has his own little like side role where like I honestly feel like he doesn't really do much in RDR2. He's just kind of there as like a little side piece. Participating in the Mexican Revolution, it was pretty fun, but here's my other issue with this fucking game. And I'm going to talk about how it ties back to GTA in a minute. But here's my other issue, is they would have you end a mission somewhere and tell you your next mission is across the fucking country. Literally across the country. And I'm like, oh my god, you're just making me just ride this fucking horse. And then the worst part is they tell you in the very beginning of the game, and you can feel it when you're riding your horse, they say, hey, if you go off-roading, you're gonna go slower. And it wastes more stamina. It's like, fuck me, man. So I gotta follow this goddamn path. And then luckily, GTA, you can actually kill someone and commit a crime without having the biggest fine of all time. But in Red Dead 2, luckily they also fixed this. In Red Dead 1, man, you can't commit a crime. You literally just cannot commit a crime. If you commit a crime, you're fucked. Because you're gonna owe more money than you've acquired in the last 5 hours. It's like, fuck. Like, I was at the point where I was like reloading saves. And I was like, if I commit a crime on accident, I accidentally run someone over or something, I just reload. It's not even worth it. It's really not. But having to travel end to end all the time to start these missions, and the beginning of the mission is go travel somewhere else. Luckily, I don't know why they didn't keep this for RDR2 and GTA 5. Luckily, sometimes, and it gets more and more like this near the end, thank God, they decide to make you the passenger so you can just hit skip and skip the ride to the actual mission. Thank God. Why are the missions not taking place where the missions are? Why? Why do I have to drive, or in this case, ride somewhere for hours just to start a mission, and that mission says, yo, we gotta go travel over here, man. We gotta get out of here. It's like, why? Have me start the mission where I'm going to go. So now, how do these connect to GTA 6? Well, after I beat RDR1, and I was very disappointed with my time, because sometimes there were some fun. When the gunfights started going, especially sometimes in Mexico, and when you team up with the Pinkertons at the end, you know, the gunfights can actually be fun and engaging. And when you're with that Native American and the scientist, it's great. and you have some fun times. But those come so few and far between. There's so much slog and mush you gotta push through. It's like the Oregon Trail. It's like sometimes you might have a fun experiencing once in a lifetime moment on it. The rest of it, you're fucking going through the sludge and just grinding. But I did just realize now that I didn't mention how I would end the game. So then after John defeats Dutch and you go home to your family, literally have them first day, you go home, you see your wife and kid, you celebrate, you see uncle, you see all of them, you're like, oh my god, this is the end. And it gives you one final mission and you're like, oh, what's this? You go see Jack in the barn, bang, you're dead. By the Pinkertons, they come, kill you, bang. And then you're on to the time with Jack, and then it's like, whoa, that would have been so much better than backloading all these shitty fucking herding cowboy missions, ranching missions, after making you suffer through them in the beginning as a tutorial with Bonnie McFarlane. Why do you make me do it twice? I hate it. You don't have to do that, man. You can have the shock value instantly. You don't need to act like it's a movie and you need to show a couple scenes of you working with the family. But really they're doing it so you get to know these motherfuckers, because John doesn't talk about them at all during the fucking game. And I get he's trying to be this stoic, like, I don't talk about my family, I'm just trying to get them back. But at some point, the game, if you're not going to have me meet them in the beginning, you got to give me something, game. And you give me nothing. You give me nothing. Even at the end, man, Jack, Abby, I don't give a fuck about them. Honestly, I like them more from RDR 2. RDR 1, they did nothing for me. They really did nothing for me. It's like that. It was an emotional ending. You know, John dies, but like from the family perspective, you don't really feel tied to the family at all. At least for me, I didn't give a fuck. But so how does this tie back? Well, because the best part about Red Dead Redemption 1 truly were the characters. Okay, Dan Houser and the other guys on the writing team did a great job. I mean, John's pretty solid, but it's mainly the side characters. My favorite, the worst part though, is my favorite side characters barely got any screen time. My favorite was the native you team up with and the scientist that invents cocaine. And now I have one little gripe with the cocaine thing, is he supposedly invents or discovers cocaine, but didn't they have cocaine gum in RDR 2? I might be forgetting. Like, I genuinely haven't played RDR 2 in a while. But I'm pretty sure there's cocaine gum in that. But in this guy's just discovering cocaine. So, that's another little thing. But these two are the best characters, man. They were so funny. They're dynamic, bouncing off each other. The scientist trying to prove that natives are different people. And he's doing it with a U.S. spy, technically. So it's like someone who clearly is just working for the whites. And this white guy's trying to be like, no, you're definitely different. It's a funny little back and forth that they have where they kind of start meeting somewhere in the middle, starting to have some sort of agreeance on just like, not agreeance, but on like a mutual respect sort of thing, you know? Or they kind of have an idea of where the other comes from a little. Until fucking scientist boy walks him into a trap, native gets killed, and that's that. And then he like disappears and runs off back east. And then he only gets like 5 minutes. Like, bro, that was the best group of characters you've had. And you killed them, man. You killed them so quickly. You got rid of them. Well, I had all those traveling salesman missions. You had this guy sitting in the back corner just to kill after I just meet him, man. Why? But the villain's Dutch, he's interesting to see, especially seeing how he is in RDR 2. He was really cool. I wish there was more kind of with Javier and Bill. I mean, Bill you do get a good amount with, actually. Javier you really don't really get much out of, and especially like if I played RDR 1 before playing RDR 2, I would be hoping we got to learn more about Javier. And I would be heavily disappointed because I feel like Javier doesn't have much of a role in RDR 2, really. He's kind of like a side character. But still, either way, the characters and the character dynamics are still the best. The writing is still pretty solid. As shitty as the Bonnie missions were, her communication with John was pretty fiery. I kind of fucked with it. But now, you take the lead writer out, and I'm worried about the writing just because like there's been plenty of times in the past where studios lose a writer and the games go to shit. A good example is another rock company, not Rockstar, but Rocksteady. When Sefton Hill stepped down, what came out? Suicide Squad. So, and I'm sure GTA 6 is not going to be like that much of a downgrade from Arkham to Suicide Squad, but it just worries me, man, because it's also part of me like thinking like after I beat RDR1, I was thinking back to all those traveling and how it was so much time wasting. I started thinking about the other games that I've played from Rockstar. I was like GTA 5. There was a lot of boring shit in that. There was a lot of go drive to this mission and then go drive some more. There was the janitor mission. There was the crane and I get like sometimes you're setting up for the cool shit, but sometimes when you're, especially like the janitor moment, man, that just sticks out like a sore thumb. But all the driving, the monotonous driving that happens, it's like, I hope there's not too much. I hope they keep their missions together so I don't have to drive 2 miles for a mission just to drive another 5 for the mission, okay? And then end up somewhere halfway across the map so then I gotta drive all the way over here to get to the next mission. Hopefully they don't do that. But then I also talk about RDR2 and it's like, man, I hope they let it be a little more gamey, okay? And so I'm sure they understand that GTA is supposed to be a little more gamey. But I don't want them to, just don't make it sluggish. I'm pretty sure they're not updating the engine. That's going to be still on the same engine. So I hope they really make it smooth and fluid. Because RDR2, really thinking back, it was so sluggish. And like I'm worried the sluggish controls mixed with now like a different writer, mixed with just like the general times and just worried about like what happened to Saints Row. Because Saints Row 2 is my favorite GTA. Okay, and what I mean by that is like obviously it's more of a genre, okay, and I find it so weird how these action crime games, open world action crime games, just get labeled as GTA clones instead of an action open world crime game, like it would be for like a movie or a different genre of game, you know, but instead we get GTA clones. But Saints Row 2, absolute peak. And I would love for the game to be like Saints Row 2 in the fact of the fluidness, the kind of wackiness, and the off-the-railsness that it has, but keeping it still contained in its world and actually being fun. Keeping up with fun, constant fun and action. And not constant action, like I do want like a pretty decent story at the very least. Give me something decent. It doesn't have to be crazy over the top like or insanely well written like RDR2. But give me something at least fun or something that's entertaining. And then let me be creative with the actual gameplay. Like I know the old GTAs have this reputation of being able to attack pretty much any mission anyway. And part of that, clearly as you see from the later GTAs, part of that has to do with the actual restrictions that the consoles had, probably from not letting it be such a tailored experience. Also from the fact that the quote-unquote movie game style hadn't really caught on too much yet. Some people argue Metal Gear really started that with like a Metal Gear Solid 3. But still, it would be cool. Like, I remember there were portions in RDR1 or RDR2 where, like RDR1, there was this time where I met this prostitute, and then this guy was like, pay me like $500 and I'll let her go. And I was like, well, what if I just kill you instead? And I shot him. And I was like, mission failed. You can't do this mission now. And it's like, why? I just freed her. I just saved her. I just killed this guy who's holding her hostage. And now she's not happy. Now she won't give me her next mission. Like, wouldn't she be happy? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's just like, let me have some more freedom. Let there be some creativity in how you do the missions, not just this straight line of do this exactly how we tell you to do it. I'd love to have some actual creativity and some fun with letting us do it, us the player, do it how we want to, instead of it being such a tailored, slow-paced, boring experience. Because even GTA, like the heists were cool, but they were still very tailored, and it's like, I like some of the tailoredness. I get you're trying to tell a story and you want to have these action set pieces, but let there be a little wiggle room. Let there be a little experimentation. Let there be a little going off the path and finding your own way, okay? That's just what I hope for. I feel like the more user creativity that's allowed, the more fun it can be. So guys, that's just kind of what has me worried about GTA 6, is just that I'm worried that it's going to be a lot of this kind of sluggishness that maybe I put up with when I was younger or just didn't really notice. Just now that I'm older, I'm really noticing it, and I'm hoping I don't feel that sluggishness of having to always try. And I get it's Grand Theft Auto, like there's going to be driving and stuff. But I mean, just like, you know, just like there is such thing as overdoing it. And we see games overdo it all the time. Look at the newer Assassin's Creeds like Valhalla. That, and probably Shadows. I haven't played Shadows, but like Valhalla, that took up too much time. Like there is such thing as just kind of wasting your time. And so I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the writing possibly being a little worse. I remember people kind of already calling out the ending, and then people thinking that maybe that's why they delayed the game is because they were trying to fix the story because people already guessed what was going to happen in it. I think part of it could also just be just trying to really clean it up and polish it because they do not want to be an unpolished game. I feel like Rockstar does understand and Take-Two understand the kind of bar that Rockstar has. It's hard to stay at the top and hard to keep that reputation that they've especially garnered when releasing a game every so often and it having these high standards for it. So, little worried about that. Little worried about the lack of creativity and just kind of like the same kind of lameness, like the same cover shooting. Because like it felt like the cover shooting was a little worse in Red Dead at times. It felt like than GTA, and it's like, man, it's like it feels like things could really use a real upgrade this time. And it's like, I don't know if GTA 6 is gonna be able to do that with the same exact engine. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still hyped for GTA 6 though, okay? I still think it's going to be one of the best games no matter what that comes out this year. I would be very shocked if it really does pull Saints Row and absolutely sucks donkey dick. But I do expect it to still be a really good game. Just, I don't know if it'll be like that true game-changing game of the year. I mean, not even Red Dead 2 won Game of the Year. And I thought Red Dead 2 should have won Game of the Year. I'm pretty sure God of War ended up winning it. But Red Dead 2 definitely deserved it in 2018. But we'll see what ends up happening with GTA 6. Either way, I'm hyped. I'm sure it will be good. Just RDR 1, really disappointing to me. Really thought that was going to be better than it was. But still love RDR 2, even though I've only ever been able to finish it once. I have played it. I've never been able to finish it, though. I like to do like some of the side stuff or just kind of like live in the open world. Not live, but, you know, kind of like, I don't know how to explain. I guess kind of live. Just do like my own robberies and stuff sometimes. But like take out a train or something. But guys, that's all for me. Let me know, do you think I'm overreacting to playing a game that's over a decade old and thinking, oh no, is this a sign for GTA 6? Just the way I'm feeling about this compared to all the other Rockstar games? Or maybe did you feel the same about RDR 1 or just Rockstar in general having these kind of time-wasty-esque features? Let me know. So guys, thank you all for watching. God bless you in the next one.